My name is Chad Blanchard. I live in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and I train at Nepa CrossFit. When I started the Open, I did not expect to make regionals. Honestly, the Open was just to have fun, just to compare myself to everybody else. I just wasn't sure what was going to happen.
If you get drug tested, is that going to be clean?
Yes, yes. Everything will be clean. Everything is natural stuff. Let's try that again.
Okay, let's slow it down a little bit, okay?
I work at Odyssey Fitness Center in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and I'm a personal trainer here. They've been, like I said, they've been in full support. The owner actually donated a little bit to a GoFundMe account that I have. You know, everybody's really cool about it. I mean, I'm still in disbelief now. Like I can't even fathom being around the people I'm about to be around in, you know, a few weeks. Like these guys are just awesome.
Dude, this is crazy. 2 seconds ago, you were killing it. I know.
I'd say probably, I mean, clearly it went wrong, but I smoked pot when I was young. It wasn't, I don't know, man. I don't know. It was intriguing. It was something I didn't know. It was a life that I didn't know that I wanted to know. So I went after it.
Did that escalate when you went to college?
Yeah, I mean, it was escalating before college. When I went to college, it was just basically picking up where I left off. I already knew how to, you know, get whatever I needed. I knew the prices of most things. It was just, what now do I want to get involved with? And I got involved in, you know, selling cocaine. Cocaine was very lucrative. Number one, you know, you could make money off it as long as you weren't doing it. I wasn't doing it a lot in the beginning. Unfortunately, that changed big time. I ended up using coke quite often, every single day, numerous times a day. So it turned into me selling coke in order to support my own habit.
How did you get hooked up in college? How did you know where to look for that stuff?
I didn't know where to look. Let's just say it found me. I didn't have any fear of doing it. No, I felt like I knew enough about it. It wasn't, I mean, of course, you're not supposed to do bad things, but I know I was a kid, and I, you know, felt like every other kid feels. I know everything, and I'm invincible, and nothing could touch me, and I don't know, man, it consumed me. When I got told that I was in trouble, my dad was with me. They were telling me, like, this is what you've done, this is what you're looking at. You know, I put my head down, and I just didn't speak. My dad, he was just, you know, very, he was a dad. That's what he was. He was a dad. My mom is actually coming out of the kitchen. Yeah, give me a second. I'm walking up to the porch, and she says, "What happened?" Because, you know, she didn't know what was going on. So I told her, actually, I didn't tell her anything. I actually grabbed onto her, gave her a big hug, and all I did was kept reciting over and over, "I'm sorry." Like, that's all I said. I couldn't say anything else. Nothing else would come out. That was the best I had. She gave me a big hug, and she's just like, "Don't worry, do not panic. We're gonna fight this together. No matter what, your father and I are never gonna leave your side. No matter what." And it was just like just a mom and her son, like best mom in the world. You know, and they never did. They never left.
How do you think you would have turned out if your parents didn't have that immediate reaction to support you like they did?
I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. turned myself in on the 29th of November by 5:00 p.m. And I remember going up, and it was like, there's two feelings you'll never forget. And anybody that's been in my situation can attest to it. You'll never forget walking in, and you'll never forget walking out. Those two feelings are so far from each other and so intense that going through them is just, I don't wish it on anybody. You know, it's just, I mean, walking out, of course, hell yeah, walk out. That's a great feeling. Walking in, especially on your own will, like you're not being dragged, like you were turning yourself in. You know what you're going into. You know where you're going. And you know it's not a fun place. It's not a great world to be in. You're walking your feet at your own will into that. I mean, that's tough. It's tough. I didn't want to. But what was I gonna do? I mean, run? I mean, there's nowhere to run. I mean, there's nothing I could do. So I turned myself in. So I remember going back to my cell one day, turned on the TV, and there it was. CrossFit on ESPN. Yeah, pretty cool, man. I was like, man, look at this stuff. Like, these guys are doing it, man. This is awesome. And I mean, as far as the free weight stuff goes, I couldn't do that. We didn't have free weights, but I knew I could do other things. I remember going to the gym the next day, and I was like, I'm gonna do CrossFit. So I put my hands inside a stationary bike, I sat behind it, I straddled it, and man, I ripped on that thing as hard as I could for, maybe a minute. And then I got up and I tried to walk on my hands the entire gym floor, and I did it till my arms were about to fall off. Just kept going back and forth, just kept repeating it. And man, I couldn't walk on my hands. I couldn't do that. I just kept going up and falling, So what do I need to work on? I need to work on walking on my hands. So every day, I would get up and do a handstand against the wall, and I would hold a handstand for as long as I could. And I never tried walking on my hands again until I knew I could hold a handstand for 3 minutes. When I could hold one for 3 minutes against the wall without coming down, that's when I knew I could probably walk on my hands. And sure enough, as soon as I built that stability, a couple steps at a time, a couple more steps at a time. Now I'm walking halfway. Now I'm walking the whole gym floor. Cool. This is pretty cool. I was, slowly learning an overhead squat. I was using a broomstick first. We didn't have PVC pipes, but I got a broomstick and I used that. And then I was moving on to the bar, and I remember putting just a utility bench underneath me and just tapping it with my hamstrings. It wasn't even my butt. Just as soon as my hamstrings hit, stand up. And I remember getting to, I think I put a quarter on. I had 95 pounds on. I was stoked, dude. I was so stoked. It was so cool. And what was even better was I was in hell, and I was forgetting I was there because for the moment I was getting better. I was getting better at what I was doing, and I knew it, man. I was like, this is what I want to do.
Is it? You'll kill snatch.
The Nate one's.
It's going to be something harder than Nate, I would think.
Yeah, but
like deficit handstand push-ups or strict handstand push-ups or something.
I did strict all that day. It's going to be deficit.
Did you get 17 or something?
I don't remember. Was it 20? That's 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to do rounds per time.
Shit, what is 20 rounds?
20 rounds per time.
With
You
bar
guys
muscle
want to do Nate today?
I was trying to set myself up to be as successful as I could when I got out, more immediately. Like I know things are going to come in the future, but I didn't want to come out with nothing. I didn't want to come out with no plan, no knowledge of what I wanted to do, no talent. Like I wanted to come out with something. So I remember walking through the gate, gave my mom and dad a hug. I said, I'd like to talk, but let's get in the car. I don't want to be here anymore. We got in the car, and I was car sick immediately. So I went to went to eat, and then I came here to Nepa. Came to Nepa CrossFit that day. I'm a changed person. You would never know what I was like, because I can't even go back to that and say what I was like. Like, I have no idea how I did some of the things I did. I have no clue. I am like baffled. I made a bad decision. You know, everybody makes them. You know, not everybody gets caught, or not everybody has to, you know, deal with any type of repercussion that they make. But, you know, when it hits home, man, it hits. I know that it hit me hard enough where I never want to repeat that, and I haven't, and I won't. So, you know, it's friggin' history, and it's you know, shitty history, but it doesn't define who I am. Like, it just helped me build who I am.